I'm pregnant! Hey guys, welcome back to the Nichols Nook. I'm Jess, and today I will be sharing with you my earliest pregnancy symptoms. I'm pregnant! Oh my goodness, I still can't believe that I'm saying those words. I just can't believe that I get to share this journey with you guys. It feels real, but it doesn't feel real at the same time, if that makes any sense. I don't know, it kind of hasn't kicked in yet. Even though I can feel changes in my body, it just doesn't feel real. It does feel real, but sometimes it's just hard to believe. God is so good. I am so grateful that we have this little blessing on the way, and I just feel like the luckiest girl in the world. So yes, I am pregnant, and currently I am at the beginning of week 6, and I just want to give you a quick recap of my first 5 weeks from the time where we conceived up until the point when I found out that I was pregnant. Really quick, if you are new to our channel and you want to get all of my pregnancy updates, don't forget to click subscribe, and that way you won't miss any of the updates that are on the way. So if you have never been pregnant before, you may not know that when you go to the doctor and say they tell you you are about 5 weeks along, you are actually only about 3 weeks along. And that was the case for me. So I was about 5 weeks along according to my Flow app. So I was really only 3 weeks pregnant, but doctors like to go off of the first day of your last menstrual cycle, which would put it at 5 weeks. So basically, I didn't have any pregnancy symptoms during the first 2 weeks. So I'm going to start off with week 3. And basically I have been logging my symptoms in the Belly book. This book is amazing. I ordered it off of Amazon, and it is really nice because it is split into the 3 trimesters so that each portion of your pregnancy, you can just stay organized and go through each trimester, one section at a time. And I don't know, for me, I am such a list maker and I love things that keep me organized. So once the first trimester is done, I want to be able to kind of say, okay, that was one chapter, let's go ahead and move on to the next chapter. So the beginning of the second trimester, I think is going to be huge because that is when we plan on announcing to both you guys and to the rest of the world that we are expecting. So by the time you guys see all of these videos, I will be much farther along, so just keep that in mind. And if you want to catch up to where I currently am when you're watching this video, just click down in the description box. I will have the playlist linked down there for you so that you can see all of my updates from week to week. So anyway, I have been logging my symptoms in the Belly book. So during week 3, I was just utterly exhausted. I was just so tired, and I really wasn't catching on to anything. I was really fatigued. That continued into week 4, and then during week 4, I noticed that I started to just be very irritable, and I started getting aches all over my body. I just was thinking that it was PMS, kind of some severe symptoms that were showing up. You know, because I do get some PMS symptoms. My breasts get a little tender, and I do kind of get a little sniffly or feeling as though I might be coming down with a small cold, but nothing severe. Sometimes I'll get a little cramping, but again, nothing severe. So I don't know. I thought it was just PMS. I didn't really think anything of it, especially because I thought that I ovulated later than what I must have actually ovulated. And so every month that we had been trying, we thought I ovulated later than I actually did. So honestly, I had no idea because I thought that I ovulated later on in the month when I actually didn't. So that was something that I noticed during week 4. Another symptom that started coming up is that I was just extremely thirsty. Oh my gosh, so thirsty, you guys. And if you don't know, I'm a teacher, and so I'm on my feet all day, and I try to drink as much water as possible throughout the day. I have a huge cup that I keep on my teacher desk, and I just try to chug water all day. But oh my gosh, like no matter how much water I drank, I could not get enough. I was constantly thirsty. So that was definitely a symptom that started coming up in week 4. I also noticed that I was really hungry in the morning, and I am not a breakfast person. So I had been getting up around 4:30 in the morning just to kind of start my day on a positive note. I would listen to motivational videos and horoscopes and things like that just to kind of get me motivated for this year. And I noticed that I was just starving when I would get up. That's another reason that I would pop awake so early, is just because I was so hungry in the mornings. And again, I am not a breakfast person. Normally I might have, I don't know, a granola bar or a banana on my way to school, and that's pretty much it. But I was like starving. So that was another thing that, again, I wasn't really catching on. I was just like, man, I'm really hungry this morning. It must be because I'm getting up early, and I don't know, maybe my body was just trying to be productive. So yeah, producing something else, a baby, but I wasn't catching on. And then the only other symptom that I really had during week 4 is that I was really hot at night. Usually I'm freezing at nighttime, and so that was really odd. Again, I thought it was a PMS symptom, but I was cranking the air down to like 68, which normally I would freeze like a popsicle. Typically our house is on like 72-ish, and to crank it down to 68, I know that doesn't sound like a big difference, but to me that's a huge difference, because not only was it on 68, I also had the fan going in our room, and I was just like constantly hot, tossing and turning throughout the night. So that was definitely a symptom that I noticed during the 4th week. And then moving on to week 5, my Monday started off just really crummy, and it progressively got worse up until Wednesday. I just felt like I almost was coming down with a really bad cold or the flu. I was just stuffy, and I felt like my lymph nodes might be swollen. I just had a bad headache, and I just felt, gross. Like, you know when you feel that you're getting a cold and you just feel yucky and just sniffly, and I had a sore throat. My body was achy all over, I felt weak. And so not feeling good, made me very irritable. This is when I started to really get bloated as well. On top of not feeling well and then feeling bloated and gassy just constantly. Sorry for the TMI, but you're watching a pregnancy video. It just made me so irritable. I also noticed that I wanted to sit down a lot at work, which is not typical. I teach 2nd grade, and so I am constantly up and down, moving all around the school, the classroom. I am on my feet all day long. And so I just was so weak and tired feeling that I just wanted to sit. And I felt kind of bad for my students, because I was just kind of making them work independently so that I didn't have to do a whole lot, because I was just that exhausted. I had to also sit down because I always had to go to the bathroom, and I have no one to watch my kids until lunchtime. So I do not get to go to the bathroom a lot of times until lunchtime, unless I don't have recess duty. So yeah, that is a long time. I thought it was because I was so bloated and gassy that I had to be constantly, but yeah, apparently that is an early sign of pregnancy, is that you have to use the bathroom all the time. It's just like that annoying feeling where you just constantly have to go, and you're like, oh my goodness, I just went. So now I didn't think, again, much of this as a pregnancy symptom. I just thought, oh my goodness, I'm so thirsty that I drank way too much water, and now I really have to go. So yeah, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, and I thought, again, it was just because I was PMSing and maybe coming down with a cold. My breasts really started to get tender this week, and again, that I thought was a PMS symptom. But those were pretty much all of my symptoms. In a nutshell, I basically thought that I was PMSing and was coming down with a cold, and it turned out to not be either of those. I was just pregnant. So on that Wednesday of week 5, I just had the crummiest day, and I was like, you know what? I just want to go home. I called Chaz and I asked him if he could pick up our foster daughter from her after school program, because I just literally just didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to get home and get out of my work clothes and just relax. I was done with the day. But I had to go to Target on my way home, so I did go to Target, and while I was there, I was like, I should probably pick up a pregnancy test just to see. I was supposed to start my period on that Friday, so it was 2 days before my period, but I was like, it's not even gonna be anything. But I picked one up anyway, and Went home, and sure enough, it was a BFP, big fat positive. So that is my weeks 1 through 5 and my earliest pregnancy symptoms. If you are pregnant right now, I am so excited for you. I wish you the best of luck, and I would love to know what your earliest pregnancy symptoms were. It's so interesting to watch other people's videos too, or read comments about just the experiences that everyone goes through, especially early on in pregnancy. So please share down in the comments what your earliest pregnancy symptoms were. I will be starting weekly updates with week 6. So if you want to see all of those weekly updates, don't forget to click subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.